Hi, everybody. KNB here, Karen Nelson Bell, and I'm here with my great friend and my podcast partner, Linda Ferguson. And Linda, say hi to everybody.
Hi, everybody.
What we're going to do today is a holiday potpourri, any kind of holiday. It probably we could have even started back on Thanksgiving. We could have started the whole month of the end of November and December and the beginning of January are a lot of different holidays, and it's all kind of wrapped into this festive time of year. So Linda has some specific thoughts that I really hope she's going to share with you. I'd love for her to start us off. Linda, get us going.
Sure. All right. So it is right now the second week in December. And personally, my household has just hosted a very big Thanksgiving. And we're about to have our annual Christmas party, which is the big one for the year for us. And so we're very caught up in all the holiday things, all the things. But I'm also a business owner, as are many of you listening. And so I'm getting ready for the next year. And so I was just curious. I was chatting with Karen on what steps are you taking already to be ready for the next year? So, Karen.
I was all ready to tell you because something happened this morning um, in my business, which revolves around health and wellness. Um, it turns out that our company is hosting a challenge, and you sign up in December, and the challenge starts January, February, March. Well, in March, I can't say I'm 80 anymore. I will not be able to say I'm 80. I'll be obliged to say I'm 80 plus because I'll be 81. So I'm still trying to lock in to my body's exact right set point for perfect health, for optimum health. So I've taken up the challenge, and I think it's a time of year where businesses look to their business health and people look to their physical health. And I'm doing both. I'm pretty excited about it. It's an exciting thing to do. I didn't know I was going to do it, but and I'm so close to accomplishing my goals. It's like making a New Year's resolution doesn't quite fit because I've met my most of my New Year's resolutions I've met this year. And that's very exciting, but not completely. So I'm spending the time between Christmas and New Year's to reflect and write up, get to paper, get it on paper, get to paper the goals, the purposes, the dreams, the scenes that I want to envision for me. And it's a perfect time of year to do it. Because it's a time it's supposed to be a time of goodwill toward men, right? Peace on earth, goodwill toward men. That's
Yes,
kind of the overarching concept. Doesn't matter which holiday you're celebrating. Peace on earth, goodwill to men.
exactly.
That's the holiday that I want to celebrate. Make sense?
Me too. I'm in. Let's do
Okay, let's do it. Oh my gosh.
it. Well, I get this sort of restlessness that happens along with feeling like I'm leaving a lot of things not done. It's There's a new year coming up and I want to hit it out of the park. And so what do I need to do? What do I need to do so that next year is the most amazing year yet? So that really is planning. Now
Oh,
I have a confession.
yeah.
I have a confession.
Oh,
Uh, then this ran into our whole family. Our whole family was kind of like this, but we were the last minute planners. So leave everything to the last minute and then hopefully you pull it all off. And I've done that. I've gotten really good at pulling it all off, but not so good at the planning that will allow everything to be pulled off. I'm used to making miracles happen. But as a steady diet, that's not the best way to live. It really definitely hits the the anxiety level. So One of the things that was a big shift for me was getting married this past year and combining two lives into one household. That was very different for me. So I moved in to my husband's home, which he's lived in for quite a while, and he has his own routines, and he made room for me in a delightful way. We're very, very well matched as a couple. But for me, it was really different. And one of the things that fell by the wayside was the exercise that I was used to getting. The exercise I was used to getting was going to the beach 3 days a week, meeting a girlfriend there, and we would go for long walks and jogs, and that was lovely. But I moved further away from the beach, and I have a whole another routine that kicks in the morning that includes a husband and his dog. And so I haven't really made it to the beach except I think once.
Wow.
Yeah. So getting up in the morning and going for a walk. I live in a beautiful street, never make it out the door. But I always wake up early. So I recently joined a gym just before the holidays. And I've been going every day, leaving
Wow.
the house around 6:30. Yeah, I'm impressing myself by doing it. But for me, that's the sweet spot for me to work out. And there's no necessity for me to do it. But when I planned it any other time of the day, I don't make it happen. I just don't. I get caught up in other things. So that's one change that I'm making during the holidays that will last me next year. And why it's a key and a critical one for me, at least, is it's something that I am, even though it's been 3 days, I just know myself where I know this will be a consistent thing that will add energy to everything I do. One of the immediate benefits is even before then, but I started sleeping enough every night, which is really a big thing.
I'm so happy to hear that.
Yeah. And my diet is next, Karen. Just saying. First
Wow.
comes sleep, then comes the diet. Exercise has to be part of it. So I'm taking that win, and that's a big one.
I'm very impressed. I really am truly impressed and admiring you so much. Getting up, I do have to do the physical therapy. The physical therapy I have to do for my knee is about 2 hours a day.
Wow.
I have to walk about a half hour. I have to ride my bike about a half hour. And then the other actual muscle bone building things that I have to do take another hour on top of that. You know, keeping for a senior, keeping your musculature is terribly important, and stretching. And because you lose limberness when you get to be a senior. I always thought I used to be extremely stretchy, and I would, because I was dancing on stage, and I would stretch, and I'm very limber. And I thought, if I just stretch every single day, then by the time I'm 100, I'll still be stretching. Well, that dropped out when you have an illness creep in, and it prevents you from doing what you were doing. Now if I had to stretch the way I used to, I'd be like, oh, I mean, no, please, I can't do that. You know, but but I'm just admiring you terrifically. So I have to do it in the morning because, like you said, it, the day just sets in and you're off and running, and there's no more gym. But it's a habit, and you're building a habit. And so that's what we're doing. We're building habits. We're not, I don't want to make a New Year's resolution. A resolution is something that I guess you have permission to not keep. this I'm going to build habits, and that I have been building habits, and some of them are really coming to pass. Like the if I don't exercise, I had a cold last week, and I didn't exercise very much. And you know what? For the first time in my life, I missed it. And people, I think, drop out at Christmas time. Maybe you're going to go and eat too much and have too much sugar and all this and that. Uh, My habits aren't going to. No, that's not going to happen this year. There's new habits in place, so
Yes.
I like that.
Yeah, I like it too. I like it because one of the hardest things to manage the older I get is energy. And um, energy is key to achieving everything else. Energy makes you want to do things. I mean, enough energy is a huge asset. And you don't know until it's gone how much you rely on having enough energy. You could have the best plans in the world, but if you don't have the energy to pull it off, they're just plans. So, exercise is key for me and for everyone. I'm not saying anything that anyone doesn't already know, but I can tell you that probably, I don't know, most of you can identify with waking up and feeling like, I don't have the energy to exercise. I just don't have the energy to exercise.
Okay.
So day one wasn't hard. And usually when I start something new, it's not hard. Day two wasn't really hard. Today, I got the first 5 minutes in, I was like, I don't want to do this. This is horrible. I don't have the energy. I just want to leave. And I literally had to just close my eyes and keep going. I was on an elliptical machine, which for me is one that keeps my heart rate up. And so there you go. Anyway, 5 minutes went into 10 minutes, went into 15 minutes, went into 20 minutes. And all in all, my gym booked time is 45 minutes. My goal next year is to have a personal trainer in there, um, evaluating how I'm doing and putting me on the right things. But
Let's both do that. I'd like to join you in having that as something that I will accomplish, is to have a personal trainer, because I'm doing all of this improving my health with my studies on YouTube and Facebook, and I will go to PubMed.gov and research white papers to see what's really. I like to follow people on social media that present their actual research, so that I can go and double check and see what's what. But I want to make you and all my fellow seniors, super seniors, a little tiny bit jealous, is that I have so much energy, I hardly know what to do with it. And I think there's a lot of teenagers that can't keep up with me. And it's just really funny to me. I just,
I've seen you in action and I agree. They should be jealous.
I don't know. It's just, I think it's a result of over the last 7 years changing my ways. Because I'm
Yeah.
not sure that when I weighed 226 pounds and I looked like I was 18 months pregnant with triplets, I didn't have the energy. But becoming healthy, I just have so much energy. I've got some left over to offer to others.
Well, okay. So I was at a party and sat next to someone who inspired me. And she said every morning she got up and she threw on her clothes and she'd go running. And she and I are about the same age. And she has a runner's body, so she's tall and slim. But she said, I get up there and she goes, the first mile is a little rough. And, I'm cold right now because it's cold in Florida. But then after that, I just start feeling incredible. And many runners I know announce the same thing. So that's her. So running is her thing. She loves it and it sets her up for the rest of the day. And without it, she does not have a good day. My husband is a biker. So he rides every day a minimum of 5 miles, often 8. And then on the weekends, he'll polish off 15 miles, which, wow. And he does it religiously at least 6 days a week, if not 7 days. The man is an energizer bunny.
I love.
So he went from, I think he dropped 80 pounds. He was like quite overweight and didn't really have any health problems, but he really wanted to lose weight and diet wasn't doing it. So he decided to ride a bike and he's done it ever since. And so that's him. And if he misses a day riding a bike, forget it. He's not in a good mood. So for me, I was doing really not enough. And so now mornings, that was good. I didn't feel good. And I feel good and I'm sleeping. which is good.
I love the fact that you're sleeping. This we've talked about this frequently on these podcasts, and for you to have a good night's rest, I'm so excited for you. Now let's flip it a little bit and tell me what you're hosting a Christmas party, a holiday party. I don't I can't remember what day it is, but is it a Christmas party or just a blanket holiday party?
It's this Saturday. It's our Christmas party. So
Okay.
Christmas holiday, and it's a traditional one that my husband has hosted for 15, 20 years, something like that.
So are there culinary traditions that are going to be uh, present that will be tempting to me? Because I will come to the party, and I would love to know what are we gonna do? What is gonna be there that is only there at Christmas time? Because there's a special kind of diet. There's a diet expectation that you're going to gain weight at holidays. The reason is there are certain foods that are only available at those holidays. Like you can only find little orange pumpkin candies at Halloween. You can't find orange pumpkins in February. You know, you can't find marshmallow bunnies. Well, I guess you can actually. You can find marshmallow bunnies anytime. But what is something Christmassy that we could expect? Is there something that's just strictly very Christmassy?
Traditional here
Yeah.
in this house. Yes, but it's not a holiday. Um, kettle potato chips, kettle potato chips, whatever. What are they called? Kettle something.
Yeah.
Anyway, they're potato chips with salt, and they're delicious. And a dip called Hell of a Good Dip. It's only ever in our house on during Christmas because it's my husband's kryptonite, he says, so we don't have it around otherwise.
What's in it? I want to try it. What's in it?
Hell of a good dip? I have no idea, but it'll be here, so you can
Is it
taste
like
it.
a sour cream dip or a cream cheese dip or
I
a
think so. Chips and dip are not my thing, so I don't even ever I have
Oh, they're my thing. Oh
there.
boy, I'm gonna bring my own keto chips so that I can
Oh, what a
have,
great idea.
yeah.
Now, so this year I am going to, I think I'll be able to get to it. I'm going to make a keto cheesecake, pumpkin cheesecake bar that
Ooh,
is amazing. And it is something that you can have. So for sure, we'll have that.
I love it.
Yeah, there
I
will be keto things.
love all the hacks for creating desserts that don't have to have sugar in them because now we can use allulose or monk fruit or
Mhm.
happens to be your particular favorite. I'm zeroing in right now on allulose and monk fruit because they cook and bake the same way as sugar. Allulose caramelizes up, so you could actually make actual caramels. You can make I could make a caramel apple with allulose. It's just pretty interesting.
Do it.
So um well, do it. I am an experimenter. I will say that. I really want to make a keto pumpkin pie. Pumpkin itself has quite a lot of sugar in it, but but it's not uh of all sugars on earth, it probably isn't the worst sugar ever, pumpkin.
Hmm.
It has some other values to it, and I would really like to make a pumpkin pie. Maybe if I can, and I found a keto cookie that I could smush in to be the crust of the pumpkin pie. I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to, I'm not a baker. So do you put butter in with these cookie crumbs and and bake it before I bake the pie? Or do I just do it all at once? Do you know the answer to such?
Well, just look up a recipe. That's what I do. Actually, you should do this. Go to who's your latest ChatGPT boyfriend? What's his name?
His name is Chadwick.
Chadwick. Okay, so you're going to ask Chadwick how to make a keto pumpkin pie.
I already
Yes.
did.
Oh, yeah. Well, what did he say?
I was trying to see if you had any hints for me, but I've already asked Chadwick and I have had a nice long chat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what did he say?
Oh, he gave me all the instructions. He gave me everything I needed to know exactly.
Okay.
He's so compliant. I like a guy who does exactly what I tell him to do.
Really?
Oh well, that's kind of a joke, I guess.
Kind of okay. That's good. Um, yeah, so I have made I've made keto cheesecake before. I have a special little tiny, I think it's a 6-inch cheesecake springform pan to do it. I was really into keto everything for a while, and keto and I are pretty good friends, but not long-term friends. So, but
Yeah.
anyway, to make a crust, it depends on what you're making the crust out of. So it could be crushed nuts, it could be almond flour, it could be a coconut kind of a thing, crumble up cookies. And typically, what you do is you're going to make a crust, and very often you're going to bake that first, and then you put your filling in and finish it off so that you have some um, tooth to the crust. You know, it doesn't turn into a big mushy pile. So,
That's what I was thinking about. Thank you, Linda. That was very nice of you to share that with me.
absolutely. And
Maybe,
I was
maybe.
doing it in an air fryer. Those are pretty cool things.
Oh, that's nice. I like that
Yeah,
idea.
a big
Yeah.
air fryer.
Yeah.
So, rolling right into the holidays, yes, the holidays traditionally in this location have been potluck, people come and go, lots of music, and there's a definitely a nostalgic sadness this year because my husband had a singing partner from 35 years ago, 40 years ago. And they, every holiday, they would sit down and they would go through songs that they'd been singing together for many years. Well, earlier this year, he passed away right after our wedding, actually. And so he won't be here this year. So for the first time, Eric's going to be performing on his own, and I will sing harmony on a couple of songs.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, you have such a beautiful voice, Linda. For people who don't know that, you have a beautiful, beautiful soprano
Oh, thank
voice.
you.
And I remember I was recording something and I was using a lot of different sopranos to come in and do parts. And do you know that do you remember me telling you that you were the best one of all the sopranos that came in to record a specific part, that you were the best? Did I tell
I
you
do
that?
remember it was at Tony Rockcliffe's studio,
That's right.
and I'd just gotten done singing my part. And you did say that, and I took that as a huge compliment since, given your background as a musical producer and as a composer and as a recording artist, that was very high praise. So thank you.
And an expert Christmas music person, because I have produced over 30, at least 30, maybe 35 Christmas shows, because every year Country Tonight had to have a Christmas show,
Oh, wow.
and we had locations in 3 different cities, and I was doing it for 10 years, so that's at least 30. And I can think of some other Christmas shows that I've done. So I'm the Christmas music lady. And so the fact that I'm glad you remember that, because I remember it specifically, so I wasn't being socially polite or telling you something to be supportive, to make you feel good. And I heard you singing some with the choir not too long ago, with our church choir, and I think are you going to be singing some of the Christmas carols?
We are. We're singing Christmas carols.
We have, I think you probably appear. I live near a place called Winter Wonderland,
Mhm.
and Winter Wonderland is a an area put on by community volunteers. And every year we have this marvelous, you've got Santa and Mrs. Claus, and you've got uh, different kinds of rides and a petting zoo, and make Christmas cookies. Design your Christmas cookies, and it's just and there's always entertainment. And there's entertainment every night. So I'm going to get to come and hear you sing Christmas carols, and that's going to be a wonderful thing. So will there be Christmas caroling at your party?
There will be Christmas caroling at our party. It will be a sing along. And so, because you're there, you'll get to sing. And some of the choir will be there as well. So,
Will I get to play? Because I can play just about every Christmas carol there is.
so good. Except my piano sucks. I
Well, you
found
have
out,
a really good piano. We're doing another community service outreach and his piano is really good. I hope you know him.
LD?
Yeah,
Who? Oh, okay, good.
yeah,
I'll ask him to bring it. Um,
yeah.
or I'll ask Doug, the choir director, to bring the piano because you know what I found out? I found out my piano, which is a Yamaha, is a half a tone off pitch,
Oh,
all the whole thing. And I never knew that. I mean, I just never knew it. And then I was doing something and listening to a teacher, a piano teacher, who was taking me through a something, whatever, and it just drove me insane. He'd hit the C and I'd hit the C and they would be off, and I go, oh, I can't. I would just want to throw this piano away because I can't tune it.
oh.
Anyway, moving on to, we'll probably cut this part out of the podcast. Who even cares?
No, no. I think people do like to sing around the piano, and think people do. So I'm hoping that people will tell us what are their favorite Christmas recipes. What are your favorite Christmas experiences? What are the things that you really don't want to drop out, like a Hallmark movie? You know, the list of 20 things that the housewife is going to do for her kids. You know, they're going to build a snowman. They're going to string popcorn for the tree. What is your favorite Christmas tradition that you really
Tradition. They're called Christmas traditions.
traditions?
Yeah,
Yeah. So what's your favorite tradition? I'd love to hear what people's favorite traditions are. Don't you? Wouldn't that be interesting?
sure.
What's non-negotiable? What do you have to have? Okay, so I'm this is non-negotiable for me. Would you like to hear
Okay.
my non-negotiable?
Yeah.
So the year that Duncan died, my friend, her husband died the same thing, right? Almost at the exact same time. She's
Wow.
really, really close friend. So here we were, these two widows who were facing Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's without our guys. And I didn't want to go to, have I told you this story before?
You've told me this story before,
Have
and
I told
you
her?
actually told it on the podcast.
Okay, well then you already know. We're going to have a movie marathon. We went and we did a movie marathon because it took our attention to the movies, and there's so many good movies. Who wants to go see Wicked with me? Who wants to go see Red 1 with me? You know, who wants to go see Moana 2? There's so many movies that I have to go see. So that's going to be part of the Christmas. It's not
Okay,
a
I'm going
weekend.
to clue you into something now.
Okay.
You told me the story and you've told it to me on the podcast. That does not mean that anyone else has heard that particular episode. So you might want to just share it.
Oh, well, you're right for that. I forgot about that. Well,
Mhm.
so when we both were widows, we didn't want to be reminded of it by going to the traditional things that we always did with our husbands. So we went to a casino, the Red Rock Casino in Las Vegas. That's where I lived for 55 years. And I didn't live at the casino. I lived in Vegas for 55 years.
Okay. This is
And
good.
we went and had the fabulous Christmas buffet, which was out of this world. And they have a theater that has movies, and they have several different theaters. So we went to 3 movies on Thanksgiving, and 3 movies on Friday, and 3 movies on Saturday, and 3 movies on Sunday. And that took us right out of thinking about ourselves because we were thinking and talking about the movies. And it became a habit. And we did that every single year. We had a movie marathon. And I still, I'll call her up and I'll say, what movies are you going to watch this year? You know, and I still love to do that. It's just my favorite. It's non negotiable. I'm going to go and have a movie marathon. Who wants to go with me? Do you want to go? Do you want to, have you already seen Wicked?
No, I haven't
We're
seen any movies
I
recently.
have an obligation to go see Wicked.
Do you know? All right. So this weekend, I'm singing in the choir. I'm being dressed up in my Victorian garb to sing Christmas carols. So that's great. I'm performing at Sunday service and we're hosting a party. So this weekend's out. But next weekend is open. We could do that. That would
That would
be
be nice because Christmas falls on a Tuesday and a Wednesday. Christmas
yeah,
Eve Tuesday, Christmas Day Wednesday. So
right.
if we take the Saturday, Sunday, Monday before Christmas and have that for our movie possible movie days, that would be. Oh, by the way, this was made for me by Heidi Thompson. Heidi
Oh,
Thompson is the world's leading Cher impersonator, but she and her husband own a beautiful recording studio in the woods of Georgia, in the outback woods of Georgia. And when I went up there to record 2 years ago, 1 year, 2 years, I don't know, she made this for me. And she's the most incredible crafter. So now I think crafting at Christmas time is another thing that a lot of people do, don't they? My
yeah.
mother loved to craft, and we would craft together and craft Christmas tree ornaments. But didn't she do like I had to wear this for our Christmas potpourri episode?
I love it. It's beautiful. And I have a tiny nod. Do you see my
Aha!
little?
Oh, how pretty! I love it. I love it.
Yeah. Once I get back down to my size 4, I've got a huge wardrobe, but until then, I do not. So I'm wearing every.
Problem if there's a problem with losing weight is that if you've been dieting for 65 years as I had, you have wardrobes in all different sizes, right?
Mhm.
Now I get down to my what is like 5 pounds, within 5 pounds of what might be my correct weight. I can't, everything I have is too big. So I gave away everything that was too big because I don't want to have it as a backup. I
Yeah.
don't want to, and also when I wear the too big clothes, it doesn't say to the world, I am fit and trim. And I want to say to the world, I'm 80, I'm fit and trim.
I'm
So
gonna say I'm 80. I am full of energy. I am still beautiful and vibrant and running circles around many people that are younger than me. So there.
well, there you go. There you
Yeah.
go. Oh, Linda, I love you so much. I hope that our holidays for both of us are just absolutely spectacular. And people go into the holidays with a lot of high expectations. And it can be a melancholy or a sad time for many, as it was for my friend and I when our husbands had died. And it can be a time of heartache because the holiday maybe doesn't live up to your Hallmark movie expectations. And so I just want to say that for all the people for whom the holidays could be a time of a trial, a test to your condition, your condition of happiness. I'm thinking about you and putting you in my healing prayers that I want everybody to have the Christmas that's right for them. It doesn't have to be yeah, we've been talking about like what would be non-negotiable. If I didn't ever go to another movie, I have things in my life, so it's not truly non-negotiable. So I'm really hoping for people to have. Let's remember that it's peace on earth, goodwill to men, goodwill to men, goodwill to you, Linda.
Thank you, Karen, and goodwill to you. And may everyone enjoy a Hallmark movie ending for the end of this year. Because
Oh,
remember, Hallmark movies have a lot of turmoil in the middle, but it all resolves for the end of the movie, and then it's happily ever after.
I like that.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Well,
Bye.